Well, welcome Grenada, Carriacou, and the Piedmont and the rest of the world. We'd like to officially welcome you to another Mikey Live program. I am your host, Mikey Hutchinson, and we are coming to you live from the Spice Isle of the Caribbean, that is Grenada, where we have in abundance the sand, the sea, and the sun. Everything is just so beautiful, man. There are so many things happening in other parts of the world, but for us here, a few minor things that, trivial. You understand? Sometimes it overshadows our blessings because, sometimes we have a tendency to focus on the negatives and allow that to overshadow the positives. And it's a little friend or, somebody had to give a little nudge. Hey, man, what's going on with you, dog? So, hey, if you need that nudge, let's give it to you now. Hey, yes, we know things are hard, but take some time to recognize and acknowledge your blessings. Welcome to another Mikey Live program. I am your host, Mikey Hutchinson. And like we say, this is called News Discussed, Not Told. We do not have a horse in any race. So we just tell you as it is, like it or bite it. Yes? So here's what's making our headlines for tonight. St. George's University Scholarship Program announced. And Prime Minister cites visible change in healthcare services at some of our hospitals. Partnership for Peace initiative by the Eastern Division of the Royal Grenada Police Force. We'll tell you about that. A 71-year-old charged for fraud. Very interesting. And heavy police presence at Parliament in St. Lucia. And Antigua government teams up with a local company to pay people to get vaccinated. We'll talk about that. Very interesting, right? I know. We'll talk about that and more when we return on tonight's Mikey Live program. And of course, we want to say hello and thank you to the sponsors of our headline. We're talking about the Communal Cooperative Credit Union, Digicel Nawasa Coast Grenada Limited, the Housing Authority of Grenada. We want to say thank you guys for sponsoring our headlines, as well as the Ministry of Health. All the other businesses who are sponsoring our program, we say thank you for so doing. We take a first break and come back. We want to remind you that you can share the program right now. Yeah, share the program so that other people will get to see that we are live. Facebook is changing, like, I don't know, man. So many different changes. And so, boy, sometimes I can't keep up. But anyway, the share button is right there. You just hit share and you share it to your wall, and that should be fine. We're taking our first break and we'll be back in a moment.
Sip on a cocktail while some of your favorite Calypsonians do what they do best. This Mother's Day, Masters of Calypso presents an evening of cocktail and calypso at the Spice Basket with live performances from Beast, Scholar, Valine, and Squeezy. Tickets are only $60 and available at Spice Basket. That's this Mother's Day, May 9th. Gates open at 5 p.m., cocktail from 6 p.m. It's an evening of cocktail and calypso. Limited spaces are available, so get your tickets now. COVID-19 protocols in full effect.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Free delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom,
for that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, easy. Yeah?
Boy, line boy, your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex or give them a call 440-1015 or 440-1016 or check out their website hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen at the best price. We offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit or call us today for 14-3114-232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only.
Are you prepared for the hurricane season? Do you have a plan? Remember, water is essential in any emergency plan. Determine your family's water needs. Ensure your storage containers are food grade and store at minimum 35 gallons of water per person per day for at least 1 week. Understand that your planning may be different this year because of the need to protect yourself and others from COVID-19. Take the necessary actions to ensure that your household has an adequate stored water supply should there be an interruption. Be prepared. NAWASA, committed to meeting customers' needs.
The Small Business Development Fund is committed to providing support for your small business in these challenging times. We've upgraded our loan resources to ensure that your small business continues to thrive. Get business loans up to $40,000 with an unsecured limit of $10,000. Small businesses in agriculture, tourism, fisheries, and agro-processing will receive our unbeatable reduced interest rate of 3%. Get financial assistance for your small business today. Contact us at 459-0773 or via email at info.sbdf@gmail.com. The Small Business Development Fund, a program from the Government of Grenada supporting small business development.
That's right. Welcome back, family. And here in our news for tonight. Now, earlier, the first thing that we have to tell you about, you know that we continuously tell you about Greenlake and their plan, the outages and so on, because they say they're trying to improve the service to you and the electricity and stuff like that. All right. And so, well, they were in some communities on Tuesday, and today they were in some communities again. But they would like you to know that on Friday, some communities will be affected. We're talking about Windsor Forest, St. David, 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. you'll be affected. Victoria, St. Mark, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. And that's on Friday as well. And Caliste, St. George, 8:30 a.m. to 12 noon. Now, according to Greenlake, these planned outages are part of the ongoing maintenance program. Now, this program allows Greenlake to maintain reliability, power quality, and safety by continuously doing repairs and upgrading of lines, poles, and infrastructure. Please be guided accordingly. And they say that they'd like to apologize for any inconveniences likely to be caused. Right, so earlier, the next thing that we have to tell you about, boy, let's go down to SGU for 2 minutes now. Yeah, boy. Now, the Government of Grenada, in collaboration with the St. George's University, they are offering scholarships to interested Grenadian nationals who wish to pursue bachelor's and master's degree, undergraduate arts and science degree programs. August intake deadline is July 15 and the January intake deadline is November 12. Undergraduate medical program, pre-medicine, medicine, veterinary medicine, the deadline is November 15, and nursing associate degree program only in January, the deadline November 15. Graduate MBA degree program only for the August intake. Business administration, A, multi-sector health management, B, international business, C, clinical psychology, and D, education. Deadline is July 15. Masters in public health only for the May intake. Deadline is March 30th. All applicants must first apply to the St. George's University for acceptance. Be citizens of Grenada as well. Scholarship package requirements: scholarship application form, 2 references, a copy of your birth paper and or passport, biodata page, certified copies of academic certifications or certificates, official transcript, acceptance letter, 1 passport size photograph. Kindly submit 1 copy of all required documents to the Human Resource Development Division or Scholarship Ministry of Education, Human Resource Development and Religious Affairs on or before the respective deadline mentioned earlier. And for more information, you can contact the Human Resource Development Division or Scholarship Desk at telephone 440-2737 or 440-2738, or you can also email, that's hrd@moe.gov.gd. We are moving on. See, people like to call and text on the program, you know. I will start to just read out what people write, send, you know. You understand? You see, man, they on the program and all sending messages to man. All right, all you, please go ahead and share the business. All right. We've been advised that there are some people who are not receiving notifications, and that is due to some changes that Facebook has done again, one. And also there are some people who are not able to click on the links directly for some reason, again, due to some changes that Facebook has made. I guess it will be a matter of time that they realize what has happened. And so in the meantime, we ask that you please go ahead and share the program to your wall so that other people will be able to access the program via that means. Mikey, I ain't hear this one on your news about the young lady the police catch with a gun on Sunday in Gov't, and right now she's on bail. There were allegations of that, and at the time when the inquiry was made to the police, they didn't have the sufficient evidence or information to supply. And so we don't pick up that and just run with it unless we get whatever confirmation that we need. All right, valued listener and viewer, thank you for your concern. No. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell has commended the recognizable improvement, he says, in the level of service provided in the country's hospitals. Dr. Mitchell made the comments as he met Tuesday with Minister for Hospital and Community Services, Honorable Delma Thomas, and senior officers within that ministry. Speaking against the backdrop of separation of hospital and community services from the general health portfolio, Dr. Mitchell said that the move was innovative and transformational and has yielded positive results. He said that since the introduction of this initiative, I can feel the difference. This is evidence of significant change, and I must commend you for that. We are far from being perfect, but the reality is that people are happy to see the change, as it shows that government is listening to their complaints. We must continue to work on the weaknesses that exist and bring about further improvement. I assure you that government will continue to invest tremendous resources to improve health services in Grenada, but we must continue to work together to bring about further changes, says the Prime Minister. Dr. Mitchell acknowledged the minister's passion to effect change, and he thanked the healthcare workers for the many sacrifices made and their continued commitment to the sector. He noted that while the COVID-19 pandemic has increased the challenges facing the sector, he is confident that through the cooperation of all involved, further improvements will come. Minister Thomas, who assumed responsibility for the hospital and community services portfolio 6 months ago, also thanked the team for their display of dedication and dedicated service, particularly during the pandemic. Still, you get a lot of people are complaining that they are not receiving the proper care and attention that they think that they deserve once they are going into the hospitals and so on. So still clearly, there is still a gap that needs to be narrowed. Understand? And I always tell, and I've spoken to Delma Thomas about that, Minister Delma Thomas, that that there are other areas that should be explored as well when it comes to social development and so on. And I've always advocated that we need to start taking a look at, folks, how people are perceived in relationships after when they cohabitate, when they live together for a certain amount of years. It should not be easy to just walk out of that relationship and leave the person with all the bills and leave the person with all the children. That there should be some sort of statute that speaks to that a man cannot, after 5 years of living with a woman, just throw her out the house empty-handed with her clothes on her back with the children. And a woman cannot just decide after she has lived with a man for X amount of time that she could just put him out the house because they're not married and the house belongs to her. There should be statute. There should be laws protecting these people. There should be laws that binds us, that motivates us, in other words, to stay in relationship. You see, because we've made it so easy for people to just pick up after a while that it's almost like an encouragement. Yeah? It's just OTNO. It's just like moving on to the next one and just forget about everything else. And there's no legal recourse or no clear legal recourse that one can take to minimize that kind of occurrence. And so I think that these are things, and I think because we have not been able to secure the nuclear family structure, we have so much broken homes. Because we need to secure it. It's like you have the rivers that has naturally made its path. The natural path is where we think that the river should be able to pass whenever it needs to, right? But whenever there's a lot of rain, you realize that it exceeds where it naturally goes and causes a lot of problems. And so we have become a bit innovative over time. And what we have done is we have expanded the rivers, all right? So that when it's a little heavier, that the water can still be accommodated within the rivers and not overflow its banks and cause destruction. So we have found ways of, making life easier for ourselves. Why are we not looking at these areas? And I'm just drawing this analogy to show that, hey, if we are going to do that kind of thing there, why can't we do it here in areas that are more important? We need to safeguard the nuclear family structure to reduce the amount of broken homes that we are having. Broken homes leads to broken societies. You see what I'm saying? And we have to understand that. Anyway, this is news discussed, not told. But it's important that I'm very passionate about that, and I think that we need to get ministers who can foresee those kind of things and who can come up with remedies for that. All right? Because for far too long, we've been living in those kind of conditions, and where does it lead to? Broken homes, broken relationships. We are moving on. The next thing that we have to tell you about, we may have to applaud the Royal Grenada Police Force by extension, but more specifically, the police officers of the Eastern Division. They say that they have embarked on a partnership for peace. That's the name of it. Partnership for Peace Initiative. An initiative that sees the police going into communities to conduct their operations. Now, don't get me wrong. We are not talking about police responding to complaints. We are talking about police getting up from their desks, getting up from their offices, and going into the communities, finding out from the community members what's going on. How can we help you? So, in an interview today on my radio program, we were speaking to Inspector Leon McQueen and Corporal Giselle Grant. Corporal Giselle Grant is from the Community Relations Department of the Eastern Division, and she explained that initiative to us.
Well, the objective is basically to foster a better working relationship with the police and the community, vice versa, community and the police. Also to help bridge the gap and to see how best we can curb some of those issues that we are faced with within our various communities or policing area. So these programs come about based on the nature of the complaints that we have been receiving as a division, station, and force at large. And we look at strategies or initiatives that we can come up with to help eradicate or to bring these issues to minimal as much as possible.
Thank you very much. Now, she's saying that it has been a mandate of the police, of the RGPF, from inception to have that kind of community policing strategies, but she is saying that they have taken it one step further and added a twist to that strategy. And she's also saying that they are seeing some of the benefits and so on from it, and you're saying that people are coming to them and so on. Here, as she listen to or view this as she continues to explain.
Well, that has been throughout the length of the RGPF. However, the Eastern Division, realizing that the mandate of the Commission of Police is community policing throughout the RGPF,
right,
we have took on our own and labeled ours with that title of Partnership for Peace. And under the umbrella of Partnership for Peace, we use different strategies to work along with the community. So the mobile station in which we'll be speaking of is one of the initiatives. Additionally, December 2020 was when it really reached home to us that doing those initiatives is just one, but how can we best attract that of the public to get the reception that we're looking for, and also to achieve our goals and objectives. So some of the initiatives that we had done thus far is that of the community walkthroughs, community patrols. We had increased our mobile patrols. We have also did panel discussions. We have school visits. We have meeting the young men on the block. And I want to say, quote unquote, some of the communities that has been labeled as troubled communities, but I just want to term it to be communities that has a high influx or level of complaints coming from, and we have used those strategies to meet with them. So December 2020 was where we really got the nail on under the label of Partnership of Peace to meet our communities.
And you guys have been seeing some positive results?
Definitely we had, because persons are coming out, and you must able to test when something is working, because not just the elderly folks that is engaging us there and then. You have single parents or mothers coming out and asking for help for their youngsters before things escalate. So they see behaviors, and the police cannot do it all. So there are times we direct them to other key stakeholders or departments that can help outside of the RGPF. We have persons just coming in and having discussions, and the feedback does be given.
Thank you very much. All right. And we are moving on. Although we are hearing that a 71-year-old resident of St. John Street, St. George, was arrested and charged by detectives attached to the CID South St. George Police Station on Friday, April 30th, 2021. Charged with the offense of fraudulent breach of trust is Stanley Charles. Stanley Charles? Okay. Who allegedly committed this violation against a Grand Dance businessman on April 21st of 2021. Charles was granted bail in the amount of $10,000 and will make his first court appearance on May 18th, 2021. Okay, we are moving on. Olio, here is a twist. Now, the Antigua and Barbuda government has entered into a partnership with a local company in a campaign designed at getting national vaccinated as part of the efforts to curb the spread of the COVID-19. Hold on. Now, the Ministry of Health and Wellness and the Environment said it was partnering with that particular company in a One World Protected campaign offering an EC $50 food voucher to each person receiving a first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. You understand what I'm saying here, right? So they're offering $50 EC food vouchers to persons who receive a first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Of course, they'll have to provide proof of that. Now, last week, the Prime Minister there, Gaston Brown, warned of the possibility of implementing a mandatory vaccination program as he criticized persons who were encouraging others not to participate in the national vaccination program. He says this is not a threat, Brown said, noting that the pandemic has had a tremendous impact on the socio-economic development of the island since the first case was diagnosed last March. In its statement, the ministry said that the voucher is not redeemable for cash or change and must be utilized in one transaction. Just when you thought you heard it all. Maybe, just maybe, the same can be implemented here. But that's funny. But you know what? I hear the conversations on the street. A lot of people are talking about the vaccine. And what I'm getting is not that people are anti-vaccination. More so, they are interested in alternatives. I guess as much, it's no secret that the AstraZeneca vaccine in particular has received, probably been the vaccine that has received the most amount of negative media attention, ranging from the whole issue of paralyzations and blood clots and so on. You see? So it is one of the vaccines that's been widely criticized, and of course that would cause some kind of hesitation in people. And so, like the St. Vincent Prime Minister said, they are looking into alternative vaccines for their people, in particular the Russian vaccine, the Sputnik V, as opposed to the AstraZeneca, which they already have there and should be expiring soon. They are saying that they are prepared to donate what's left of the AstraZeneca vaccine once it gets too close to the expiration date. Of course, you don't want it to go into spoiling, right? The same is true for Grenada. We hear that our health ministry, they are saying that once other vaccines are available, then they will not be hesitating to have those vaccines accessible to Grenadians, but says that one of the key elements or requirements is that that vaccine receives clearance from the WHO in particular. All right, so it must receive that approval before it can be administered, or before they would consider having it here in Grenada. Speaking of that, we hear that three Caribbean countries have recorded deaths from the COVID-19. Health authorities in Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago Tuesday, they reported more deaths from the coronavirus over the last 24 hours, as well as increased cases of the virus. The Guyana's Ministry of Health said that 3 people had died of the virus, pushing their total to 306 since the first case was detected in March last year. And I think that there was a 77-year-old involved in that. So far this month, 6 people have died from the virus there, and the authorities said that there have now been 106 deaths recorded over the past 2 months. In April, the deadliest month of the pandemic, so far, 65 individuals died from the COVID-19 there at that time. Trinidad and Tobago, on the other hand, they are reporting 235 new cases of the virus and 6 additional deaths over the May 1st to 3rd period. Jano. Well, it was us last week, and this week it is now St. Lucia. Last week, we had heavy police presence guarding a government ministry. Now, Parliament in St. Lucia. We give you this report.
Threats of proposed protests.
What threats? The only threat the people of St. Lucia have is the government of St. Lucia. A phalanx of police officers stood guard outside Parliament building as law enforcement, apparently acting on intelligence, girded for an unauthorized protest by disgruntled citizens. However, there were no masses in streets, picket signs, and loud chants of slogans. Rather, the only assembly at Parliament grounds on this day appeared to be the politicians, police, and press.
I was totally shocked. I can't believe this nonsense. What's this all about? Are we expecting a riot in St. Lucia? Why all the SSU and all the cordoning off of areas? For what? The government is implementing a state of emergency and extending it. What is it that they're afraid of?
The ruling United Workers' Party has painted the opposition SLP as the party of civil disobedience. But Castries South MP Dr. Ernest Hilaire is miffed by what he views as a false narrative of public disorder.
I guess if they give the impression that there is unrest in the country and there is violence in the country, and then to try and point it at the Labour Party that is causing it, maybe they might gain some political points. But it is, for me, absurdity of the highest order.
A social media post on the Facebook page of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force spoke of an alleged mass crowd gathering planned for Tuesday, with the police citing the COVID-19 prevention and control prohibition of assembly order that restricts mass crowd events.
The Labour Party has never organized any protest anywhere. I don't know where that's coming from.
Leader of the opposition, Philip J. Pierre, has urged calm, cautioning the incumbent who presides over the instruments of state power to lower the ambient temperature.
The government wants to initiate a war of the people and the police. I can assure you that our party will tell our people to be calm. The government is provoking. We have instructed our people that we have to be calm. The answer the government has next month will be the 6th of June. That's going to be 5 years since there was a general elections. What we are saying to people is be calm.
Pierre's closing statement on the matter was brief and to the point.
We want to say to the Prime Minister, call elections, call it.
Talk of an anticipated horde of citizens aggrieved with the SOE extension descending on Parliament never materialized. However, with the election cycle in full swing, it remains to be seen how the various entities navigate the state of emergency without running afoul of the law. Solange Alfred, HTS News Force.
All right, so thank you very much for that report. And family, what we're going to do right now is take a quick break, and we are going to come back with more. Of course, when we come back, you know that we've got the national report and the weather. And we'll also like to remind you that you can continue to check out Spice Isle Jewelry. Their Mother's Day special is still on. For the mothers, 40% off when you buy your special pieces for your mothers. Remember, it's on items over $115. This special ends this Saturday. Remember that social distancing is required and mask wearing. So check out Spice Isle Jewelry for your Mother's Day special. 40% off on items over $115. We're taking a break and we'll be back.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Free delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business.
For your education.
for your financial freedom.
For that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
This month, make it all about her with a gift from Gov't. Shop today and enjoy up to 30% off selected rugs, accessories, and more. Get the most stylish appliances, home furnishings, and more. Plus, shop today with ready finance and we'll pay your first and last installment. You can also shop online at www.shopgov't.com for the same great savings. So make it all about her with something special from Gov't. Gov't, bringing value home.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, easy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call 440-1015 or 440-1016, or check out their website hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches, and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen at the best price. We offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays, 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit or call us today for 14-3114-232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only.
Are you prepared for the hurricane season? Do you have a plan? Remember, water is essential in any emergency plan. Determine your family's water needs. Ensure your storage containers are food grade and store at minimum 35 gallons of water per person per day for at least 1 week. Understand that your planning may be different this year because of the need to protect yourself and others from COVID-19. Take the necessary actions to ensure that your household has an adequate stored water supply should there be an interruption. Be prepared. NAWASA, committed to meeting customers' needs.
Anywhere at any time and have it delivered to you right here in Grenada at yogo.gd.
We decide now to come together and to get a small loan so at least all of us could start with future off.
Handing over of the boat to some young fishermen
is not just symbolic, but it has significant socioeconomic impact for the individuals who are receiving the boat, but also for the community. St. Mark is developing as a significant contributor in the fishing industry. And so I'm very happy today that there are 5 young fishermen who have been awarded this soft loan, and they have embraced it and they're ready to go out. I'm happy to see that. It makes a lot of difference in their individual lives, in the lives of their family, and also for our community. And the impact on our country is significant as well.
And I decide now I wanted to go on my own because we have family to take care of, house to build, and other things to do.
To live here every day, mostly every day, and go in Grenville. And I take 3 bus, sometimes I take a little more. Every day you have to do this, but we're thankful, we're grateful for it.
There's a little process that sometimes people find is a bit tedious, but in a loan there are certain requirements that have to be fulfilled. And once you meet those requirements, then you get the loan.
Yeah, well, I will tell them work hard and see how they will get you with the same loan to start off, like how we get it to start off.
And recently, I think over 20 young men from this very parish were trained in captaincy of a boat and so on. So all of these are coming nicely together, and the Ministry of Fisheries would have played their role as well in terms of encouraging young people to get into this industry. It's a great industry. We're grateful to those who have gone before, and we are really blessed to see young men coming in now and taking on that.
The Small Business Development Fund, supporting small businesses.
(209) received second AstraZeneca dose at Kirani James Athletic Stadium on Wednesday as the Ministry of Health continues its vaccination drive. We'll have details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Wednesday, May 5th, 2021, I am Chrisanne Mitchell. Government, through the Ministry of Health, continues its vaccination program today at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium in St. George and health centers across the country. On Wednesday, the GIS team visited the vaccination center at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium and was told that 61 Grenadians took their first dose of the vaccine, while 209 received their second dose, making them now fully immunized. Dr. Trevor Paul Noel, PhD, Deputy Director of the Windward Islands Research and Education Foundation, WINDREF, located at SU, has been a part of the process from the start. Dr. Noel says Grenada has done an excellent job so far and added that it is critical that the country maintains vigilance now that vaccines are available.
Not only from an economic, but also from a psychological perspective. We must keep in mind some of us between the ages of 35 and 55 are quite strong. The younger people, we must think of them while they are not able to get vaccinated because they're under the age of 18. The psychological effects of this pandemic are far-reaching. Also on the elderly, those that have had to curb their normal enthusiastic endeavors with regard to meeting of friends, etc. These all need to be taken into account when we think of what we're involved in. So to look at vaccination in isolation will be incorrect. I think it is important that we think of independent thinking. So when persons say they don't want to get vaccinated and you ask them, why aren't you getting vaccinated? And they say, well, I don't know, I'm waiting. And I'm not sure exactly what they're waiting on. Because the fact is, we are in Grenada almost like we are in the eye of a hurricane.
He says we also need to pay particular attention to what's happening in Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, and St. Vincent regarding COVID-19 infection.
I think it is a challenge to us now from a community perspective to get persons to realize that the COVID-19 is here. We haven't had large exposure with regard to the variants, but when the variants do come in here, it will be quite apparent as to what the true measure of this virus can take us from a total perspective on a population. And for us to think that we live in God's country, I do agree we live in God's country, but it takes a bit more than prayer at this point in time. You have prayer, but you also have to use it in combination with the science.
Dr. Noel highlighted three forces he claims that are critical in this fight, namely science, market force, and politics. People, he says, need to be able to separate what is the real issue and come to the realization as to what the science is saying.
The science does point towards vaccination. It helps the politics, obviously, and it definitely helps from a market forces perspective. And I think it's time. In Grenada, there used to be a time when we were leaders. We were leaders when they had things like WIBs and stuff. We were the first ones to have broadcasting stations, etc. But we seem to have fallen from that height. And we seem to be persons that are more likely to listen to negativity, bacchanal, as they say in Trinidad. We seem to like that and embrace it. And it's time we move towards independent thinking, be independent thinkers. It is important for the next generation that's coming. How do you react when you have a situation that is a challenge?
Accurate and credible information dissemination on the vaccination program is key to achieving the goal of herd immunity in the country. Vaccination continues on Thursday and Friday at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium and health centers across the country. Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell has commended the recognizable improvement in the level of service provided in the country's hospitals. Dr. Mitchell made the comments as he met Tuesday with Minister for Hospital and Community Services Honorable Delma Thomas and senior officers within that ministry. Speaking against the backdrop of the separation of hospital and community services from the general health portfolio, Dr. Mitchell said the move was innovative and transformational and has yielded positive results. He said, and I quote, "Since the introduction of this initiative, I can feel the difference. There is evidence of significant change, and I must commend you for that. We are far from being perfect, but the reality is that people are happy to see the change, as it shows that government is listening to their complaints. We must continue to work on the weaknesses that exist and bring about further improvement," unquote. Minister Thomas, who assumed responsibility for the hospital and community services portfolio 6 months ago, also thanked the team for the display of dedicated service, particularly during the pandemic. She said, "I have been on the ground with you. I have seen many of you go beyond the call of duty, and I have seen firsthand some of the challenges in the system. You can rest assured of my continued willingness to be the champion for change in healthcare in Grenada," unquote. In closing, the Prime Minister asked for forbearance as government remains committed to honoring the 4% salary increase for public officers as soon as the country's revenue earnings can accommodate the increased wage bill. This is the National Report. The news will continue after the break.
Protect yourself and our community from COVID-19. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. If soap and water are not available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with at least 70% alcohol. Use a tissue when blowing your nose, sneezing, or coughing. Immediately discard the tissue properly. and wash or sanitize your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Let's do our part to ensure that each and every Grenadian remains healthy. To stay up to date, visit the Government of Grenada's webpage or the Ministry of Health's Facebook page. For more information, contact the Ministry of Health's hotline by calling 53-VIRUS. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by the Ministry of Health.
Welcome back. 200,000 surgical masks, 3,000 pairs of protective shoe covers, and 3,000 protective suits were handed over to the Ministry of Health on Wednesday. These personal protective equipment are just a small portion of several consignments already handed over to the ministry by the People's Republic of China. The equipment, valued at approximately 200,000 EC dollars, were presented to Foreign Affairs Minister Honorable Oliver Joseph, who handed them over to the Minister for Health and Social Security, Honorable Nicholas Steele. During the brief handover ceremony, resident Chinese Ambassador Wei Hongxian said this signals China's interest in protecting public health and saving lives and livelihoods.
Today, I have the great honor to hand over the sixth batch of materials, including 200,000 medical surgical masks, 3,000 protective shoes, and 3,000 pairs of shoe covers. All these efforts show the solidarity, cooperation, determination, strong bond, and profound friendship between China and Grenada in the fight against COVID-19.
Minister Honorable Joseph accepted the donation and highlighted the benefits it will have in the fight against COVID-19.
On behalf of the people and government of Grenada, I wish to express our profound gratitude to the government and people of China. This equipment will go a long way in helping us in the fight against COVID-19. Our objective is to save lives and livelihood. We have done reasonable good job. In fact, we are ranked as one of the safest countries, but we cannot take anything for granted. The Minister of Health is here, and he has always said to us, do not let down our guards. And so I know he will make maximum use of all this equipment that have reached here in Grenada to continue our fight, because we want to be the safest country on earth as we move forward. And your contribution, your assistance along the way has really helped us to reach where we are today.
Honorable Nicholas Steele expressed gratitude to the People's Republic of China.
We both recognize that we are not out of the woods as yet. And the only way that we will succeed in doing so is recognizing that we're all in this together. And as such, I thank Ambassador on behalf of the Ministry of Health, Government and People of Grenada as well, once more for the assistance that we continue to receive from the People's Republic of China through him and his office here in fighting COVID-19. These protective gear will be used to help keep our frontline workers as safe as possible as they continue the fight against COVID-19.
And finally in the news, St. Rose Modern Secondary School has copped the top spot in the 2020-2021 USAID OECS Juvenile Justice Reform Project's poster competition. J.W. Fletcher Roman Catholic Secondary placed second and St. George's Institute placed third. The competition, which was held to promote awareness on child justice, was started in December 2020 under the theme #ChanceForChange. More than 15 secondary schools participated. The Ministry of Social Development held a prize-giving ceremony on Monday following the judging component in February. The students were all eager to share the inspiration behind their winning art pieces.
My artwork shows my dream of a world where children can have full balanced justice. All classes, all ages, and all races can experience hope, trust, equality, and justice with changes and implementation of laws.
My idea, I was first inspired by my graduation from my brother. Because when I first had child justice, I thought about the children who don't have the opportunity to go to school, yet alone get graduated. So I said, let me think about a child who didn't have the opportunity but was granted a chance to go to school, and she was able to not only graduate but give the valedictorians, to give her speech for her graduation. So it's very inspirational, and I want to inspire those children around the world that you can do it in your life.
So I thought maybe something that signifies like getting rid of all your stress and just relaxing and breaking free, and like and something that came to me was vines, because vines just grow all over the place, they're free, and that's mainly what gave me inspiration for the painting.
That story just ended the national report for Wednesday, May 5th, 2021. Recapping the top story, 209 received second AstraZeneca dose at Kirani James Athletic Stadium on Wednesday as the Ministry of Health continues its vaccination drive. On behalf of the entire news and production team here at the Government Information Service, I am Chrisanne Mitchell saying thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Chrisanne, and everyone else who were part of the production of the National Report. Now for a look at our weather, partly cloudy with a few light, isolated showers. Now, the winds northeasterly to easterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas moderate with waves up to 5 feet in open waters. And that is our weather report for tonight. And let's say hello to a few people before we wrap it up. Charmaine, Christine, Cynthia, Zaka, Michelle, Angel, Kimo, Doris, Yvonne, Kirin, Shirin, Glenda, Angel again, Shum. I said Noreen, I said Maria, also I see Miriam, Cassie is there, Ansha is there with us as well. And everyone else, I would like to say John, Vicky, blessings to you as well, all right? Patty, blessings to you as well. I said Glenda, I said Eunice, Smallman, Coolman, Michelle, and everyone else, all right? Pearl, and there's more than one Michelle's on the program here as well. I said Celine, Maureen, Osric, who else is this? Yeah, man, everyone else. Lucille and Kenisha. Allah. Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys all the time, all right? So I just want to say that. I really appreciate you guys being here and, of course, being the gatekeepers of the program. And, of course, bring somebody new tomorrow, okay? Every one of you, bring somebody new. And tell me who all they bring, all right? So that's as far as I can take you for tonight. We'll leave you now. Have a good one. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we all say, Ja! No. Take care, family.